Usually I get straight to the video, but I gotta address this thumbnail first of all. This is an absolute piece of art. Okay, this is Picasso-esque right here. This goes down as one of the best thumbnails I've ever seen on YouTube. And I've seen a lot of thumbnails, because the algorithm knows what to kick my way. And this one, S tier thumbnail. Yeah, now that's a thumbnail. Let's see what this video is about. 5 races that should be playable in WoW, but aren't. Let's see what our boy Nixium, the Tentacle Hentai Lord, has to say about the best races or the races that should be playable in WoW.
World of Warcraft has got a roster of playable races that are bigger than my repair bill after a bad raid night, and that is saying something. But let's be real.
I can explain. The raid repair bills have been bad, I know, but it's we're gonna get better. We're not gonna wipe today.
Blizzard is still sleeping on some absolute gold mines. I mean, we got pandas waddling around Pandaria and these fox people doing whatever it is the Vulpera do. But there's
this was a mistake. Okay, we could have had the Sethrak. We got the Vulpera. You know, furries are an audience, I understand, and Blizzard's got to cater to their audiences, and it's a thing. But, you know, we missed out on some good races because of the Vulpera. We did.
Vulpera do. But there's a whole zoo of badass races out there that deserve their shot at the character creation screen. So today, I'm throwing out 5 races that should be playable in World of Warcraft, but they're not, because who really wants yet another elf reskin? Stick around, everybody, because this list is going to get a little bit weird.
Okay,
but first,
what's going on here?
A quick word from our pals over at Zygor. Do you want to level up fast and explore Azeroth without pulling your hair out? Zygor's guides are like a GPS for everything in World of Warcraft. That is right. At long last, you'll finally be able to navigate the Accursed Barrens. Look, the link is in the description. Check them out today.
Use the link. Use code Nixium
for 20% off. Let's start this list off with number 1. The Tuskar.
Now, the Tuskar, I really thought we were getting the Tuskar in the intro part of the cinematic for Dragonflight. If you guys remember, Dragonflight cinematic hits. We're getting all this dragon-esque shit. Here we go. And what is that?
Hello, YouTube. My name is Mina Lai.
What the fuck? Why is YouTube randomly playing fucking videos for me? I was pulling this up because if you remember, the Dragonflight cinematic thing kicks off how? First scene. First scene in this cinematic, what do we see? We see a Tuskar. Yeah. Bam. That was loud as shit. But when I saw this, that's what I thought. I thought, okay, we're getting playable Tuskar. They're hinting at it. Very obvious. They put in a fully cinematic, fully rendered cinematic. We got a fucking Tuskar. How are we not getting playable Tuskar? Well, we didn't get playable Tuskar.
The Tuskar. Everyone that's been watching my channel for a long time knows that this race is going to appear on the list. So I figured, why not make it number 1? We're kicking things off with the Tuskar, everybody.
Not only that, as soon as Dragonflight launched, we saw that not only were we getting a cinematic version of a Tuskar, we got these customizations. Like, this was a fully, you know, HD-ified Tuskar race now. They had different tusk customizations, different whisker customizations. They had a baby race of them. They had a mountable version of where, like, they were riding on otters. I mean, now you can say what you want about a fucking walrus riding on an otter. Like, is that some kind of weird, you know, cross animal fornication going? I don't know. But what I do know is that they had all the animations. Everything was in place. They were ready to go. Armor equipable on them. It was totally... All Blizzard had to do was flick the switch for these guys, and they didn't do it. So now I'm wondering, when the hell are we going to get Tuskar? Maybe when we go to Northrend in the Last Titan? Maybe. That would be the next shot, because we do know that Tuskar obviously live in Northrend. That's the other place other than the Dragon Isles that we've seen a bunch of Tuskar. So maybe it happens then. But I thought Dragonflight was going to be it. I'm not going to lie.
Those chubby walrus dudes from Northrend who somehow make fishing look cooler than it has any right to be.
There it is.
Imagine rolling up to Orgrimmar as a frickin' Tuskar warrior, waddling in with this giant tusk spear and a belly full of blubber. You'd have frost resistance at the wazoo, a racial ability to summon a fishing boat for no particular reason,
and
maybe even a passive that whenever you eat raw fish, you get a health boost, because why not? I would level up 1 just to spam
Stay warm, yes, Shalaska.
in the trade chat and watch the trolls lose their minds because I'm doing a better.
I think a cool ratio would be like if they could make soup and raid, right? They just like put down a big pot, and instead of having to buy food, you're guaranteed if you bring a Tuskar to raid, you can have food for the entire raid. Like they just put down the big soup pot, and everyone can just throw into it, and bam, you got food for the raid.
Job than they are. Blizzard, you gotta give us the Tuskar. You gotta give us the Walrus boys. I'd wail on some noobs all day with this guy. You get it? Wail. You're welcome.
I got it.
Number 2, the Naga.
The Naga.
This is a race that everybody since World of Warcraft.
I talked about these guys. If we get the Naga Midnight expansion, it's an elven-based expansion. Azshara's coming back. It's the reuniting of the elves, the retelling of old elven stories, and the new elven stories that are coming out. And then, bam, you get playable Naga at Midnight. That totally seems like the time that, strike while the iron is hot. Give us another elven race, but it's not really an elven race because they look like fish. So basically, you get two things out of it. People love elves, and then you got the scaly boy fetish going on. So nobody wants to play Dracthyr anymore because Evoker is basically a dead spec. Now, Devastation's doing good now, but I'm just, Augmentation's gone. But anyways, you can get both fetishes in one, and we all know Blizzard has created a fetish game out of World of Warcraft now, so this would be a great one for them.
First came out, everybody wants this race. Guys, it's the Naga, the slithery sea snake psychos with a chip on their shoulder and a tail that just won't quit. These guys have been slinking around Azeroth forever, serving up evil vibes under Azshara, but why not let us play one? Dual-wield tridents, a swim speed buff that make Aquaman jealous, and a racial that lets you maybe coil around your enemies and squeeze them like a boa constrictor until their eyes pop out of their skulls.
Sure.
Okay, maybe that'd be a little bit overpowered. All right, I admit that.
Would
now,
be.
look, they will need some sort of pants workaround. All right, this is like the main reason why Blizzard always says we can't do Naga. It's like they don't wear pants. I mean, look at that tail, dude. Like,
yeah, does that matter anymore?
Go? Maybe they have like
you literally have Dracthyr who, in their Dracthyr form, their dragon form, they don't wear pants. Like that's a normal thing now. They just have the cock fabric hanging over the front. So pantsless races are now a thing. That's not a big deal anymore. And yeah, the Naga coming back. Now I will say why Blizzard has made a fetish game out of this. I mean, I've never considered Scalies to be sexy in any way, and then Blizzard dropped this cinematic and had me questioning everything. So yeah, this is probably, this would be a good thing for them. We'll fulfill the fetish, thing that I said before, and the pants doesn't matter anymore. We already have races that don't wear feet, don't wear shoes. We've had that since the very beginning. Trolls, Tauren, no shoes. Draenei, no shoes. So yeah, I could totally see this happening. No pants, not a big deal anymore.
Or something, a kilt. I don't know. Look, the point is, I'd love
Mecha Gnomes don't wear pants. Another good one. Septic. Yeah, Mecha Gnomes don't wear pants either. They got their Mecha cocks just swinging around everywhere. So yeah, why not? More pantsless races.
Stealthing through Stormwind, hissing at paladins. And plus, guys, I'm just going to say, the ERP community would lose its collective mind.
Yeah.
And your boy Nixium is here for the chaos. Number 3, Ogres.
Very late nights on Moonguard. That's what that would bring about. Ogres. Ogres were the original Horde race before Trolls. If you don't know this lore, I'm about to tell it to you. Trolls were a last-second swap ad into the game. Ogres were supposed to be one of the original Horde races, and then they got pulled for whatever reason. I'm not sure, but someone made that call. They gave us Darkspear Trolls instead of the Ogres, and then it was thought maybe we'll get playable Ogres with Warlords of Draenor. Right, we're going to High Maul. High Maul is their capital city, and that was actually supposed to be the capital for the Horde in that expansion. The Alliance were supposed to get a Draenei capital, and the Horde were supposed to get the Ogre capital. Now, that got axed because the dev team was too busy lotioning up each other's bodies in the Cosby Suite at the BlizzCon events. So Ogres never came to fruition because High Maul never came to fruition either. We got those campsites instead during WoD, and basically a bunch of content was pulled during that entire expansion. That expansion only got half-baked the entire way through. So we never got Ogres. Now when are we going to get Ogres? Honestly, I'm not fucking sure. BC could have been a time where we got them too, but that never happened. It has to fit in the lore in some way, and I don't know when Ogres could come back in the lore in a meaningful way to make them playable. So this might be a stretch.
Listen, you think the Coltiran are fat? Okay, you should see me in real life, all right? I need a race to identify with in World of Warcraft.
But imagine a two-headed ogre that you can customize both heads on. That's kind of cool.
That is where the Ogres come in. They're big, they're dumb, they're fat, and they got 2 heads, just like me. But the best part is, they're lovable. Like that one guildie who always pulls the wrong pack, but you can't kick him because he's just too nice. The ogres, right? These meat mountains, they deserve a spot on the Horde. Sorry, Alliance, you don't get these guys. Like, we need more ugly races on the Horde, okay? That's why we need the ogres. Picture an ogre tank stomping into battle with a club the size of a Tauren. So
it's badass. Like this is cool. I do think the ogres would be cool, and he is right. The Horde have been getting nothing but beautiful races. I mean, they got the Blood Elves, they got the what's their name, the Nightborn. Like, yeah, Blizzard's been trying to make the Horde sexy, and guess what? They were sexy in an undead, you know, kind of necrophilic. Green ass kind of way, you know what I mean? Like they were cool in their own way, and the Blizzard kind of taken that away. We need another ugly race to come back to the Horde, and yes, the ogres could be that ugly race. Make the Horde ugly again. What would that be? Muga? Yeah, Muga. Make the Horde ugly. Well, I left the H out. Muga. There you go.
Perks, I don't know,
make Horde
a
ugly
charge
again.
That flattens enemies, a bonus to strength that would make warriors drool, and maybe even a damn fart cloud AoE for crowd control. I'm serious. Listen, Blizzard, you've already leaned into the gross with them damn sea giants at the bottom of Stranglethorn Vale, so why not lean into it more with these guys? Listen, I've wanted to roll an ogre for a very long time, okay? Make it happen, Blizzard. Give me a big dumb boy to love and play with. That didn't sound right.
We could also get, you know, as a play on the ogres, if they don't want to go full ogre, they can go half ogre and give us like a Rexar, you know, race where you got the half where, you know, the ogre fuck the orc or the orc fuck the ogre. I don't know how mechanically that works, but we do know that's what Rexar is. Rexar is a half breed, so that could be a thing. That could be a thing. Just give us, you know, you don't want to go full ogre, go half ogre. Yeah, there you go. Rexar race. Rexar looks like a badass, honestly. I always thought that.
Number 4, the Arakkoa.
Garona is a halfer, but she's a half Draenei, half orc. She's not a half. I don't know if an ogre penetrated a Draenei, I don't think that would end well. I don't think that would lead to a birth, per se, because there would be tearing and everything going on during that process. So yeah, we'll just move on from that.
These guys, man, let me tell you about the Arakkoa. They are those creepy bird people from Outland.
Yeah, she's a Draenei orc
who look like they would narrate.
I don't think we'll ever get these guys.
Like, this is the perfect race after Forsaken for those guys out there that absolutely love Tim Burton movies or the big titty goth girlfriends. Okay?
Yeah, I just don't think they'd be that popular. First off, it would take a lot of work from Blizzard to make these guys playable because they're like their own rigging, and they don't have many animations or anything going down for them. They have a dance, sure, but other than that, I think how many people want to be this race? It would take a lot of work, and a lot of people wouldn't play them at all. So I don't see this one happening.
You got the cursed hunch ones and the fancy
furries versus featheries.
Yeah. Just give us both a flight speed boost racial or something, because these guys got wings, even though in the lore a lot of them can't fly. But the point is, they get a flight speed bonus racial. They got a claw attack that rends armor, and maybe a shadow.
Cadence, I will direct you to Mr. Hand's horse. I'm only going to say that once. If you want to look at tearing, high school video, back in high school, just saying, that one circulated around and it did lead to death.
No magic passive for the spooky vibe. I would roll an Arakkoa mage, okay? Just to cackle from the rooftops, dropping fireballs and molten feathers on my unsuspecting foes. Plus, their emotes could be all squawks and preening and stuff. You know, imagine the dance animation. Blizzard, you're missing out on some prime bird energy.
Yeah,
here,
this
dude.
one's not going to happen.
Like, what can I say? Number 5, the Broken Draenei. Last but not least, we have Broken Draenei. These gnarled, beat-up cousins of the space goats we already know. These guys got the short end of the fell stick in Outland, and it's time they got some love.
Again, like, how many people would make Broken Draenei? I don't know. I don't know if they'd be a hard race to implement. They could just be a customization of Draenei. You know, you could make one, customize it in that way. But I can't imagine a lot of people like wanting to play these guys.
They could fit anywhere, dude. Alliance, Horde, just vibing solo, it don't matter. Give them a resilience buff from all the suffering, a tentacle lash attack, because those face tendrils, right, they're begging to slap something. And maybe a racial that, like, boosts their reputation gains with various faction, because everybody just feels sorry for these guys because they're so damn ugly. Look, I'd level a Broken Shaman just to hear him grumble about, you know, some Eris and his gravelly voice while chain lightning some fools up in Outland. Okay? The badass, the tragic, the Perfect. Let's go, Blizzard. This is one of the races I've always wanted to play World of Warcraft.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, they'd be a cool rogue race for sure. But I think, you know, someone mentioned Sethrak, and I did earlier. I think Sethrak would be, you know, a more in-demand playable race than these guys.
Tuskar. And you know what? There's actually another race that I really want to play as. So we're going to talk about number 6.
The Vrykul.
I ain't forgetting these guys, dude.
I think these guys would be badass. Big boy humans. I mean, they would go with the Titan lore, right? You could get these guys in the last Titan because they are essentially like that first break-off race from the Titan Keepers, you know, the big boys that the Titans made, the big rocky boys. They were first, you know, Vrykul. And then there's like a degeneration or, you know, generational change into the humans. The Vrykul are the humans that we know currently in Azeroth are descendants of the Vrykul. The Vrykul are badass, big boy humans, Viking lore. I mean, who doesn't like Viking lore? It's freaking badass, and I could see them being added to the game in the last Titan. And skeleton-wise, they're in there. They can equip gear and everything. All you got to do is literally scale it all up to their size, and it works perfectly.
They got cool in the name, okay? It's the Vrykul. Cool, whatever. Northrend's beefy Viking giants who look like they bench press.
Also, music-wise, I mean, Northrend, again, we're going back to Northrend. Who knows if we get them that? It's just the Vrykul aesthetic, their cities. I love everything about Vrykul.
Mammoths for fun. These absolute units are the proto-humans on steroids. And they would be a Horde or Alliance slam dunk. Maybe both. Who cares?
They probably both.
Imagine a Vrykul warrior charging in with a double-headed axe, a racial that boosts melee crit chance because they're just that pissed off, and a war cry that buffs nearby allies with a, you know, for Valhalla vibe or something.
That'd be badass. So Horde, get Naga, Ally, get Vrykul. I don't know if they'll ever add a race to the game that's specifically faction-based anymore. I don't think so. For one, the factions lines have been blurred so much, does it really matter anymore? And then two, investors and Microsoft and all that other shit. I mean, you're putting in dev work into something and only making available to half of your player base. That just doesn't go over well business-wise. And unfortunately, that's a big part of the game. So I just see them make it. If they make any races, it's going to be both factions. That's what's going to happen going forward.
Throw in a Frost Giant summon as a cooldown, because why not?
A Frost Giant summon would be badass.
That would make every paladin jealous, okay? And if there's one thing that we like doing here on this channel, it's pissing off paladin players, okay? Because the Death Knight is clearly the superior class, okay? Right? I would
never
roll
agreed
one
more.
of these guys just to strut through Stormwind, yelling about my ancestors while punting gnomes into the canals. Blizzard, right? Let me live my Norse fantasy.
But Vrykul are humans. Alliance don't have orcs. That's easy. Just give us the half ogre. Just like I said, give us the Rexar race, but actually make some of them on the Alliance too, and there you go. There's actually orcs in the game right now that currently play on the Alliance. There are these, again, more like, I think it's a half Draenei, half orc. He currently is in, what's their city called? What the fuck is the Forgotten City of the Draenei? Not the Forgotten City. Their damn, their crashed ship. Exodar. If you go to Exodar right now, there is an orc there. I forgot his name, but he's got like a little bit of a darker skin tone and blue eyes. He is an orc who is sided with the Alliance, and he's like a half Draenei, half orc. So like Garona. There you go. There you can give orcs to the Alliance like that, and give Vrykul to the Horde and Alliance. So you got humans on both sides and orcs on both sides. Done.
Give me the Vrykul. That's what I want. And there you have it, guys. 6 races that would spice up World of Warcraft like a shot of fell brew in the morning coffee. Tuskar, Naga, Ogres, Arakkoa, Broken, Draenei, and Vrykul. Each one's got a unique flavor that would make Azeroth feel fresh and exciting, right? If you think I missed one that deserves a spot on this list, yell at me down in the comment section as well. I can take it. And I'll just conclude with this. I know a lot of you guys, you know, War Within's been going on for a while. Classic WoW's getting a little dull. Everyone's kind of like in a little bit of a meh state when it comes to World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
If you're bored of the game, if you want to feel some good fun in World of Warcraft
Sam making shit up? No, I'm
highly
not.
recommend checking out the video on your screen right now called How to Enjoy World of Warcraft Again, where I share my tips for completely staying addicted to this game for 19 years now. Anyway, check out that video next, and I'll see you all with my next video after this one. That's right.
After that, yeah, it's a good one. Good video from Nixium. I think some of these races he hit on, yeah, there's some of the classics of the Tuskar, of the Ogre, the Vrykul. Those have been ones, even the Naga, requested for a long time. I think instead of the Arakkoa, he could have put the Sethrak on there. That's been one people have wanted to play for a long time. And then besides that, we got High Elves, I guess. Just we never really got the proper High Elf. It's kind of sad the way they gave it to us just as a customization feature of Blood Elves. Should have gotten like full-on high elves with tattoo options and everything, but it is what it is. Overall, nice list. Some of these races I think actually will become playable before the end of the World Soul Saga. No, I'm not making shit up with that orc, man. I gotta find him. I made a video about him, actually. Hold on. Let me see if I could... you know what? Let me go to my own YouTube channel and see if I can't search for it. I got it. Yeah, Alliance Orcs, and... where's the image of him? Right here. Kothar, I think is his name. Yeah. Boom. Kothar. This is an Alliance Orc, okay? So you call him BS on my shit. This is an Alliance Orc. He showed up in the game. He's still in the game in Exodar. You can go there and find him right now. He's got the blue eyes, the darker skin. He's a traitor, yes. But in the lore, it exists. There are orcs on the Alliance. So there you go. Call him my BS. I just went to my own YouTube channel. You should too. Sometime. Check out this link, yeah, in the chat. There you go. But overall, a nice video from Nixium.